something to say about that.
They're both together there,
That's
but
true.
I would say that Watson, when we first watched him, he was known for the Terrorblade, the Monkey Kings, like the hard carries that also had decent laning. And as time went on, I think he's adapted to a super wide hero pool. Pudge was his recent addition. He has been playing in his pubs for a while. He's a very creative carry, but with Entity, he's actually gotten a chance to shine on this hero in competitive as well. And you see it towards the second end of the DPC, where they started to pick this a lot more and had a lot of success with it. It's one of the few teams that still runs the Pudge carry consistently.
Yeah, they used to do it as well all the time with Pure back in the day.
Exactly.
And he was one of the most godlike Pudges I think I've ever seen. I think he got a handful of rampages during the group stage, which is just impressive on its own right. Is Fishman having a little bit of a tussle with Q. Yeah, you hit him with that Disruptor right click. See how that tree feels right back.
Fisherman absolutely loves Disruptor. That and Undying has been the 2-star picks for this man in this tournament. Sure, they pick him Treant, but they usually like to give it to Kataomi if possible. And it's always the Glimpse build. Now that it deals damage, you don't even need to go Thunderstrike, as you can see here.
And I think the Glimpse build is exactly what you want to go for anyway against a kind of laner like a Razor. These Razors, these Vipers, Bat offlane I would put in a very similar pool. They get to a point where they just want to dive onto you. Usually it's around that level 3 spike. And Disruptor is the exact kind of hero you want to have against that. Not to mention he doubles, the hook in actually, as they will go on to jabs a bit.
Okay. Do they have any sort of follow-up here? They do have Glimpse. Fishman will send them back. They only have physical damage, but jabs will die to it.
Wow.
First blood given to Watson.
That a boy, and that's that practice paying off. Fishman, make that Watson 1 for 1 so far on the hooks. First blood as well is pretty big in this lane. We were talking a little bit before about how difficult it was going to end up being trying to get CS with the constant Link sapping away all your damage. Not to mention the courier getting killed as well is going to make the regen game a bit more difficult for Q. This bottom lane's off to a great start for Entity.
Razor's weakest levels are the first 3 levels of the hero in general, because even if you go Static Link, which you didn't go for, by the way, it's just not good until level 2. And with only Plasma Field, you're great at last hitting, but you're just not going to harass the Pudge away, and you're certainly not going to be able to steal his strength and beat him in the CS war.
And speaking of the CS war, I actually wanted to take a quick peek. Oh, actually, top lane, Toby's going to be A-OK for now. Katomi gets him out of trouble. But in case there was any doubts, it is indeed, of course, the Exort Invoker for Stormstormer over in the mid lane. This Mikoto Batrider not going to have an easy time applying any kill pressure, especially because I think the supports you have on Entity rotate beautifully to mid. It's down bottom. Fishman to get himself out of harm's way.
He's fine for now. Watson's acting as his tank. They know this. But let's continue with this Invoker mid, because you're right. Exort Invoker tends to be the better laner. You have the Force Spirit, the kill potential on the Invoker.
Look at this Rune Harass as well. He's going to be a bit too slow there. Stormstormer's going to be kicking himself. Oh, no, he denied it. He actually got it.
Wow. Well done.
Perfect timing. It goes to, show me to doubt the master.
And he denied the Force Spirit as well there. Impressive. That was really well done.
No, you get nothing. You just get time wasted, Mikoto. How about that? Down bottom, Fishman again in trouble, receives a helping hand out from Watson.
Was that? Yeah, I think that was intentional to actually save his teammate. Well, this bottom lane, we'll see how it goes once Razor hits that level 3. I think he's still level 2 right now. That should be the turning point for this lane. We'll see if they play more aggressively. It is true that Tiny, not the greatest laner, but does have a lot of kill potential. Yeah. And Disruptor's definitely the kill in this lane. It's not the punch.
And as good as an Invoker has it in this lane, I do think nice job there, making sure he was trying to stack. I think one toss back onto this Invoker and you have a kill. You know, that's true. Really all it takes, especially against a hero like that Batrider over. Because
he only has Cold Snap, right?
Yeah, right. No Tornado, no EMP.
And that's actually important because the only way you have of actually triggering that Cold Snap, unless it scrapes, is that Force Spirit. So if the Force Spirit dies, you're in a much more vulnerable position, and any rotation from Q can be really successful. So it's a point to keep in mind in this mid lane.
Yeah. Q as well. There it is. Now he's got all his regen delivered. But he was actually completely out of mana, so didn't have the mana to contest this pull, which is going to reset that equilibrium down bottom. So Fishman winning out big, and that's the kind of impact that you can have by killing a simple courier in the mid lane. You know, Tiny Mango Enjoyer wants to get all that regen to be able to contest the pulls, maintain lane equilibrium. Very important for a Razor lane, especially when you have that favorable melee matchup to be able to do that. Fishman resetting the balance here, continuing that momentum from the first blood. He's having an amazing game.
Q is so annoyed right now. I'm done with this Glimpse lane.
I think Talon overall are really annoyed as well. Stormstormer, he already knows that there's a Tiny rotating to the lane. He's got plenty of boards in the jungle, spotting for rotations there around the runes. And he's playing this one just fine as well. 19-7 is falling a little bit behind on the CS, but nothing too criminal.
Well, the mid lane control is important to know, right? You have the rune control now for the Batrider completely because of that Q rotation. And if it's not stabilized at the 6-minute rune, this could be a nice little lane for Mikoto to get early travels and start ganking all over the map, which is what you pick Batrider for. Anyway.
All right. Let's talk about top lane a bit, shall we? We've really been focusing bottom and mid quite a bit because I think there's some really important heroes in the mid lane, or in the mid game that are going to be seen here. And lots of action, as we can see Q.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the raid's going to help too much. Did they have a hook or anything? They have a glimpse instead. Oh. That's going to be enough to kill off Q. Sunstrike was not even needed. But Jabs is coming into this. He's realizing Pudge a bit too tanky. Went on the wrong target here. Rather go on Fishman. Fishman has creeps helping him. And a beautiful hook gets Jabs from behind. He's down.
With the double kill as well. He says, I don't need that Sunstrike. Get out of here, Stormstormer. These are my kills.
Wow. All the hooks were from Watson, but Fishman is the one who ends them. What a nice combination of a lane, so much kill potential.
Right.
Really difficult to go against.
And the synergy, right? Like Fish and Hook, they just go together, don't they?
That's true, actually. Yes.
Great
But he's
glimpse.
not the one being hooked.
Tried to get him back to the fountain, didn't quite catch him that time, but again, continuing to annoy him. But back top lane, right? Because maybe not actually.
Yeah, it's Watson the target. They send a Razor over him. They're done with this Watson. He does have a hook, though. Trying to go under tower. Flesh Sheep, though, about to run out, and they will get the kill they were yearning for.
Yeah. There you go. A little bit of something to try and slow the roll. Pudge, one of these carries where you get that early Axe Scepter up, and the damage is immense. Trying to get through him there.
The farm as well.
Yeah. Trying to get through him that quickly, especially when he has this Hooded Defiance, which he is, sorry, it's actually a Vanguard he's building, pardon me. He'll be able to get that up online relatively quickly, and he just simply will not care about this early TB. TB can't fight into him. He's got the Dismember, the Static Storm. It's a hard game to be a Terrorblade here early on.
Yeah, you'll have to fight Impact by probably ghost pushing as opposed to joining these early fights. Just trying to keep the lane equilibrium in his favor.
Right.
Not much else you can do as TB in this kind of matchup.
And Entity, you know, their wave clear is so-so. I think especially...
Until Ags on Pudge.
Yeah, until Ags on Pudge, then it's pretty good. Toby, you know, 2 points right now in the Crypt Swarm. I do really like DP into the TB hero. Normally you don't go for that -2 second Crypt Swarm talent that she has at 15, because the damage on Spirit Siphon is just way too good. But I've seen that as an option in order to just be able to nuke through all of his illusions instantly. It would be probably their best way, outside of Pudge rotting, it would be their best way to just clear waves and make sure that they can continue getting into a state of the game where they're comfortable in.
That is a good point, because also DP, the weakness she tends to have against the Terrorblade is because he's a Scotty buyer, and she has to get close.
Check out this double stack, by the way.
That's cool. That's a cool illusion stacking tactic. But anyway, because she has to get close, the TB just kills her before she gets close enough, and the Scotty prevents her from healing. Right. So it's usually not a good build to go for, and you do have to max on the Crypt Swarm instead.
23 off to a really good start, though, leading for CS as he is bullied away by those Spirit Siphons. Very scary here. Level 5 now, so Toby's got that big power spike with that 3rd point in the Spirit Siphon.
Yeah,
more charges and, of course, way more damage.
Yeah, because you don't want to deal with the TB early. Your goal is to actually deal with the rest of the heroes, and that's where the Spirit Siphon comes into play, particularly Pat Ryder. As bottom lane, Fishman, he'll be in trouble. He activates the kinetic field. He'll try to stop him with a glimpse as well. Fishman avoids last attack, but the toss gets him with a creep. Yeah, and it's going to be Q that dies as a result. Jabs now versus Watson. They do have a Dismember. He's going to use it to heal back up. The reinforcements are here. And with a tag team, Jabs will fall. Entity. They're doing well. Mid lane, though. Mikoto wants to stabilize this, but because of the ice wall, he can't get close to him.
Great ice wall. No tornado, but phenomenal placement there. And actually, Fishman, he's coming in. He gets vision with the glimpse.
What are they going to do with this? Thunderstrike? Okay, they still have vision over him, but no more glimpse.
There's a Sunstrike ready.
Stormstormer, though, is ignoring him, and because of the last one, Mikoto might just get the kill on the support. He's burning up. Fishman back into the Firefly he goes. It misses. Q's nearby as well. Mikoto gets away with his life here.
Nice skirmishing there. You know, you go on us bottom lane. They see the TP. They know that there's going to be no Tusk to interrupt Mikoto on his dive into the mid lane. Stormstormer will keep himself alive, and Fishman may have to slow his roll there a little bit. Does need to be a bit more patient. Seemed like since that bottom lane, he was really feeling himself. It's the classic position 5 thing. You know, I'm godlike. No one can stop me. We are killing him because you're the boss in the early game. But that's very farmed Bat Rider, and he pays the price there.
It's also not that early anymore, right? Once Bat Rider hits his 7, you're a little bit more squishy.
Finally, we can look at the top lane because Toby's getting some action going on here with that Exorcism. Looking for some tower damage, but of course the Treant Protector able to protect the tower fairly well. 23 Dragon Waves behind, and seems like they're not going to be able to get too much here. This is the biggest frustration, and what I think is going to be Toby's biggest roadblock into really getting online this game. Opening up this part of the map, giving the boot to 23 Savage, forces 23 into the jungle, and you can see they're looking to do that now, but in the jungle he's a much easier kill, especially for the likes of a Pudge with the Sunstrike, with a Tusk. It's a scary time to be 23. The longer he gets to be in lane, the happier he's going to be.
They got a nice hook with a Sunstrike now. That will kill Jabs. And Watson pretty satisfied with his early game and how it's going. He got the Vanguard fully now. I don't know if he swapped into the Hood, actually.
Oh, yeah, it seems like he did. I did see Vanguard in the
it is Hood now.
Yeah, so that'll be on its way. Lovely
and
stuff
straight
for
into
him.
Ags.
That's what I thought. I thought he was going to go Hood first, and then I saw the Vanguard queued up, and I thought, okay, he's really scared. Nice block there by Katome. I thought he was really scared of the Razor, which fair enough. And then I think now, after you eat him 3 or 4 times, he's not that scary.
The Vanguard is also the more common build because it allows you to tank towers and creeps in general, and it's a good, solid build that works with most games. But I agree with you that the threat right now is the Batrider.
Right.
So Vanguard won't help against them.
Yeah, Batrider, especially now with BOTs, right? We can expect him to be a lot more active around the map. That is going to hurt Entity a little bit, take a little bit of wind out from their sails, because they're the ones with a little bit more of the original global lineup. With this Sunstrike, with supports that actively set up for these kinds of kills. Now with a Batrider that can very quickly join in the mix, it's going to be a little bit more difficult there. As we see the Invoker Midas, that's what Lewis wants to go for. Nice glimpse back by Fishman. Be gone.
Okay, Mikoto, though, luckily has boots of travel, so he can still walk there relatively fast.
More time for Watson to farm, though.
Yeah.
That's
But they're not going to leave him here. Is he going to hook the catapult? Q is protecting it. Q knows he does not want the catapult to be hooked right now.
No, he doesn't. 3 heroes top lane, though, for Entity. Once again, they make another push for this tower. Stormstormer joining in. And it seems like that Living Armor is not going to be nearly enough here, especially with the wagon and 2 cores beating it down. It will finally drop.
And Toby's finally liberated from this top lane. Usually stays here until the tier 1 falls. Now he can actually go do things along the map.
He's got that true off-lane mentality. You know, he really likes the Zoo heroes. His #1 enemy every game, that tier 1 tower.
Ollie is going to be the next target. He's the closest thing to the tier 1 tower that Toby knows, which is why he's going to kill him next. But Ollie, in the trees he goes. Mikoto's helping out. Kadomi is burning up. And next to the Avalanche toss, they actually collect them together.
There's an Exo.
Mikoto's a little bit scary here. Fishman, though, does use the glimpse in time. They couldn't use the lasso. They have a tree, though, for a little bit more slow. Will they throw it? They don't even need to.
Here.
They got rid of Fishman as the extra gets used by Toby. Ollie once again disengages. Mikoto keeping his distance. It's all about keeping the DP alive, or sorry, DP entertained.
To a pig!
And Mikoto gets the kill on the top lane as well. Bottom lane, because of the travel boots, he can actually go and join him. They're going for Watson next. What does he have? He does have the lasso still available. The range almost there. Lasso gets him in time. He has the Firefly, dragging him away, but immediately the TP. He's going to be able to make it back home. Got the Omi, sacrificing himself for his carry. It's going to be worth for him.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Great save from there. Talon, I really have to respect the way they played it. In my opinion, they kite out that Exorcism beautifully in the top lane. Overgrowth to make sure everyone's able to get out the important heroes in any case, and they immediately make a play down bottom. But it's all at the expense of Jabs here. He's 1-5-1. He's having an awful game, Avo. This BKB is not going to be here for at least another 6 minutes or something.
And that was the question of the panel as well. What is he going to go for? Bloodstone? His BKB? What's the build for this Razor? And right now the build is poverty, Richie. There's no build. It's just recovery.
It's recovery, and that takes a lot of space, a lot of safe space off the map for this TB from Mikoto, who doesn't really need the safe space because he's got Firefly. We've seen
he's also styling.
And he's styling. But I think it is going to kind of slow 23's farm roll that he's been having, especially if they manage to connect here in the triangle. This could be good. Oh, TB just trying to go shopping, but Fishman, who catches a glimpse of him, but not the ability. Level 3, maybe didn't have the range.
That was nice, but into the hook. Who needs a glimpse of? You got a hook. You have this member as well. They have to set up for him. Sunstrike might just be enough. No,
Static.
Barely surviving. Static Storm in time for the Sunder to not come out.
Yes, that's exactly what they need. And again, that's what I mean. You know, you take a look at where Jabs is finding farm. He's finding the relatively safe farm. Quite annoyed to find his camp blocked, of course. But it forces 23 to be out. I think this is the right play by Talon, don't get me wrong. Something that Winter always likes to talk about is making sure you give priority to the right hero at the right time. Just because you're the position 1 carry does not mean you always necessarily get the safe farm at this time. At this point in time, they need to get Jabs online so he's useful. This is a hero that obviously peaks much sooner than a TB. They need him in these fights. Mikoto doing a phenomenal job so far with what he's able to get done, but you can see Entity more or less going where they please and picking fights where they can get him.
You could argue that the same could be said about Toby, but because he's a DP, honestly, as mech, there's a lot more utility just passively existing than a Razor who's supposed to dominate the early game, and that's why a hero that we don't see very often in the offlane these days.
Yeah, they're going to get a huge spike here as well. About halfway, almost 3/4
Fishman,
really for Watson.
Glimpse immediately, or is he waiting on it? He's waiting.
He says, link me, I dare you, Jabs. Oh, how about you wait here instead?
Oh, he's stuck. He's actually stuck in between the trees and the ice shards, but they just forced the Eye of the Storm. It's not a really long cooldown. It's fine.
It's just the mental warfare against him. They're trying to break Jabs is what it is.
But Jabs chill.
Yeah, he is chill.
He feels no emotions.
All right, get ready. Smoke on smoke action here. Smoking on nothing too big here, but Talon eager to fight. There's the Exo. They're going to try and contest with this mid lane tower. Talon looking to go top lane. There's no one there. Entity setting up for this siege, and they have really good positioning.
It's true, but against an Exorcism, it is only level 1. Shouldn't be that scary. They send an illusion to scout. Hello?
23 smoked as well. He's not farming.
It's true. The hook misses. They know this now. They have overgrowth available. 23 wants to come in with his teammates. Where's the bad rider though? Mikoto is the real hero right now.
Here we go. No Eye of the Storm. We'll see if that makes any bit of a difference.
First from Q. Not yet.
Okay, couldn't quite catch up. And now Entity are not going to force the issue too much. They're going to try and play around this ward they have here on the cliff, and they will get the high ground here, at least between Toby and Kataomi. But without the Exo, how strong are they really?
Yeah, you're right. They also they lost their vision because of this dewarding right now. So they're no longer confident in fighting this high ground.
And Entity have retreated through that top dire ward as well. So Talon with some pretty good intel that they're operating with. You can see Ollie advancing with you know, good confidence here, knowing that they can maybe even try and set up for Stormstormer, but of course he's not going to farm that last wave. No chance.
The fact that Ollie's also staying nearby Mikoto, he acknowledges Mikoto is the hero right now. He'll make sure to win any fight with him and also protect him from smoke ganks. And that's probably the game plan until Savage comes online.
Yeah, agreed.
And then see what jabs can, I don't know, farm together.
And speaking of farm,
he's the Coach Pobre of the.
He is. He actually, he saw all that on stage, and he's doing his own razor. How many trash? I mean, he's just going around collecting trash bags now, trying to get
the PKB.
Trying to get the PKB assembled. Can we get that PKB back on stage? Yeah.
Well, he's almost got it. He's only 600 gold away, so soon he'll be able to enter the contest, and we'll see if Entity can deal with that. They do have a couple of anti-BKB, well, just one, right?
Yeah.
Which is the Dismember.
Right, and they're going to get this Pudjags online around the same time as well.
Punch.
800 gold, Walrus Punch with Blink Daggers, and 500 gold for Kataomi. Second Blink in the quick buy as well here for Stormer, who's working on one. I'd love me some aggressive Quas Exort Invokers with Blink Daggers. Brings me back to the Toronto-Tokyo days, especially. Who else? Was it Laurel, a Depressed Kid? It was Depressed Kid. It was Depressed Kid who would do that especially. Some very inspirational stuff from these Invokers. It's these kinds of guys that when they get these items, when they make these plays and just kind of pick up the fights on their back, just inspire you to play Dota.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch as well. And I mean, they were a little bit crazy because they would skip the Midas and just go Blink straight. Right. I think this is a more sensible build.
Their lockdown was Blink Ice Wall.
Yes, exactly. And you know, Stormstormer did tell me that his favorite Invoker patch was back in the day when the Yules combo worked and definitely blast stunned.
Oh yeah, you gotta love the old Yules combo here. They're hunting for Mikoto though.
We have Colts. They have Tornado now, even though it's very short. Forge Spears, the Scout, they're a little bit afraid of Mikoto having allies nearby. They don't have any vision nearby.
And Entity, like, they're about to hit a spike here. Watson, he has now, about to say, the Ag's delivered.
Okay, Mikoto, this is another way of having Lasso, but careful. There's a lot of people nearby. Yu is coming to join him, though.
This is risky. The entire team's coming. There's a Blink Dagger now on Stormstormer, Ag Scepter for Watson, and there's also the full Greaves for Toby.
Glimpsing someone back, perhaps. They have
BKB's
vision.
on the way for
Both teams have vision here. What a hook into the glimpse. That was incredible. Jabs is now stuck between 3. He's going to die quickly, and the rest of Talon needs to run away. He will be the next target. Can they stop him anyway? No, they don't have any slows. Wow, that combo, I didn't know they practiced that.
That was amazing. Yeah, Glimpse, as you know, has a little projectile that tells you where they're going to land and when they're going to get there. And you have vision of that on your team as an ally. So it is actually something that if you practice, you can connect quite consistently, as we just saw. Really unfortunate timing there for Talon. In this fight, BKB's being flown to jabs. There's a Blink Dagger about to be ready here as well for Q. But it's just Entity, because of their better lane start, because of all the work that Fishman does, who have their items that much faster. And I really think that does make quite a big difference here.
It does, but we still have to get to see what Savage is planning on doing in this game, right? We haven't seen him at all.
That's true.
Jabs has just kind of been canceled.
He's going BKB.
It makes sense this game. Yeah. Exorcism, this is attempt number 2. Hook misses, luckily. There's still Exo level 1, though. So it's not that impressive or scary.
No. And Jabs
also, they're birds, which is not...
Right. And Jabs with BKB is pretty scary.
Yeah, Jabs BKB is scary. No matter when a Razor gets it, even if it's like 30 minutes in, there's one moment, the 1 9-second BKB fight where you have to run away from him. Yeah. And then you forever ignore the hero.
Running away from him will be rather hard now, especially because the Spat Rider, I believe, now has his own BKB, so Mikoto has that item completed. 2 really big spikes. Blink Dagger as well now for Kataomi, so we do have a snowball save. We'll be on the lookout for that, but of course you can't snowball a BKB target. So he needs something to snowball to in these fights. Walrus Punch may still be good enough, but again, like you say, the strength of these BKBs, this is a huge point for Talon to see if they can try and regain a foothold in this game, secure 23 the space and time he needs for him to eventually carry it.
And that's why they go for the smoke right now. They're trying to go for the top lane. Let's see if this works out. Stormer is the target. Well, they seen him earlier, but now they don't longer see him. He TP's in time. Stormer with some good game sense here.
He will get out. Nicely done. Entity lingering around here. They're mustering in the mid lane here with Kataomi on the smoke, his own blink. Probably just waiting for any information on the map before that they're going to smoke out and make a move. Well, they don't have Exo for 60 seconds, so it is a bit scary. I presume they just want to, you know, get ready to fight, maybe go into the triangle here on a bit of an excursion, secure runes. They're kind of just chilling as well here. Watson eager to get this BKB of his own online as well.
Oh, they actually go for a play here. A toss back is going to be against DP. Toby has a lot of... Oh, the hook! They caught 23 Savage with his member as well. They need a little bit more. The Thunder actually gets out, and it's actually poor Watson who's in trouble now. Jazz is chasing him down with his own BKB. Watson doesn't have his own. He's going to fall here as Mikoto is trying to catch back the DP. I think he saw the lasso. He gets her in the sidelines. It's going to be a dead Toby as well.
Huge
Talon
fight.
just came back with his fight.
Huge fight for Talon. 23 Savage. This man, he can manta dodge anything. You better bet your bottom dollar that he's going to be able to press that BKB button as well. Dismember me, but 9 seconds of Magic Immunity easily sees him into that Sunder, and the fight's trivial from there. Jabs as well, making that great jump in. That's the strength of this Blink Dagger. That's what Talon wanted a couple minutes earlier. Entity just weren't ready for it. They were lingering in that mid lane area. They knew what was coming, but they didn't really seem to have a plan in place there. Watson in a really awkward timing. You can see he has this Scepter, but against the triple BKB threat that now Talon have, he's basically useless if those BKBs get off.
Yeah, I didn't quite realize how little physical damage Entity actually has, Exorcism aside, of course, right? And as long as Toby gets control at the very beginning of the fight, they just can't bring down a target dismember or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he can pierce the BKB.
Crucially, though, they didn't have Exo in that fight, but they have it now. Toby moving in to take Roche here. And
Level
Talon
2 now as well.
with not a lot to fight against it here either. I think this is going to be going the way towards Entity. So a nice reaction here at the very least towards losing that fight. They lose their tier 1 mid tower, but still pick up the next best thing, which is going to be an Aegis here. Who do you give this to? Toby, Watson? Yeah, you gave it to Watson. Oh?
Okay, they caught Jazz, immediate BKB. They want to kill off Fishman, and they'll accomplish that without breaking a sweat. Kataomi is next target for the hook. Catches Jabs. He might be in trouble now. His BKB's just run out. He is now vulnerable to the magical damage of Entity.
Where the heck is that snowball going?
It was going to the corpse of Jabs, but the corpse underground, and Kataomi is now joining him there too.
2-for-1 trade. I still think if I'm Entity, I'm happy with that, Avo. I see another BKB duration burned off of Jabs, and I still kill him, and I only lose my 2 supports. Every day I'm taking that trade until it's 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Jabs is really not going to scale this way, so I guess it depends on how much you're scared of 23 Savage making a play, or Mikoto, which is what Talon wants to do right now. Stormer the target. They don't have Blink Dagger on Mikoto.
All I'm saying is that, oh, hold on, we might actually fight here.
They do have a toss back.
Overgrowth could kick this off.
Or perhaps just never. What? Where did he blink?
Oh, no. They got scared. They got spooked. They saw the shadow. 2 more weeks of farming for 23 Savage.
Oh, no. This day is going to repeat itself all over again. Talon, they go back, and they continue to farm, apparently.
I mean, hey, look, 23 Savage is farming up for the right item, right? Joke as we may, this Scotty is going to be a huge turning point in this matchup. I hope he actually goes for the complete Scotty and does not go for Manta style.
Okay, Avatos in place. Is that enough damage? A flame break? Oh, avoided. And now the hook gets poor Q. Mikoto wants to join the fray, apparently. He gets dismembered immediately. His BKB duration is going lower and lower. Now finally trying to use the last one with the last arms of the BKB. Gets tossed up to the high guard as Jabs joins in. He's the real Vanguard. Overgrowth onto 3. They're fighting Aesthetic Storm, but they don't care for now. And they managed to kill everyone in that Overgrowth entity. They want to continue this. 23 Savage does tell the meta on. Watson going for Jabs next. Now he's vulnerable. Now they can kill him. But Jabs is tanking a fair amount. The real target is still 23 Savage. The Sunder saves him. 23 Savage still gets dismembered, but they lack the damage. Seeknstrike is going to be divided 23. 23 dies in exchange for a whole team wipe +2.
That was incredible. Entity, they need to respect these BKBs. That first fight, they have to get these initiations right, or this is what happens. That triple BKB threat every time. They just don't have the damage, Avo. And then the miscalculation, they're thinking that we can buy back, get back in this fight. We can still take it, boys. You know, we were talking about how Fishman learned the word of back this, but so far, I think the only word is go.
Yes.
They've been in full go mode. They just need to kind of reassess where this game lies. Huge fight from Jabs. 23 Savage farming in the perfect place.
Overgrowth,
this Overgrowth as well. I mean, And I think MVP of this play is 23 by far, though.
I don't know. I think Ollie, dude.
This Sunder to be able to maintain this fight even longer, saving his BKB for this exact moment to make sure he doesn't get nuked.
Okay, good point, good point. That is a... Oh, we even have the slow-mo, huh? I see Clem's back on the replays.
I mean, just a thing of beauty. Seeknstrike there between the two. He does still eventually fall, but still very well worth it for Talon.
Yes.
They don't get any huge objectives out from it, so it's not the end of the world here for Entity, but it certainly is a kick in the pants, a reality check for them to really, really measure these fights.
And once again, it's just the respecting the BKB, and not just that, but finding solutions to them. Perhaps an Ags and Disruptor, Scythe of Vices, whatever it is, but you can't let those things go off. You've already drafted this draft. There's not much you can do now to deviate into physical damage.
Right. And I think one of the biggest issues that actually Entity are having in these fights is that Entity, besides this Blink Dagger that they have on the Tusk, are not a very mobile team.
Sure, like they commit and then you go, okay, we're here.
They commit and then they're kind of in there for the fight.
Sure.
You add on top of this the AoE slows, controls, and the repositioning that Talon have between a tiny Blink, the Bat Rider, and of course the Overgrowth. And it gets really awkward for them if they don't get the right initiation basically straight away. They are just held in place, and 23 Savage is free to unleash on them with that bonus damage. These fights are really difficult for them. That's why I think this 4-staff actually that Fishman's building up, even if it's not an Axe Scepter, is definitely the right choice. They need some repositioning very desperately on this. The hook's not always good enough because Watson needs to be in the fray getting some hero damage in.
Yep.
He can afford to do that now a bit better because he has BKB about to be delivered, but still, until he has repositioning, he also may struggle to get on top of the heroes that he needs to be on top of.
We do also have Pipe for the DP. This will be their makeshift BKB as well to help against the Bat Rider in general. And the Scythe of Vice is now being built by the Invoker.
Yeah.
He recognizes they need to get rid of at least one hero.
This is still Talon ready to throw another Haymaker. Scotty's done for 23 Savage. This is going to be huge. A Blink Dagger as well from Makoto with the Gem of True Sight to get easily around these fights. And Q with the Yules.
That's going to be huge, actually. He loves building that, what's it called?
Stormer. Wind Waker.
Yeah, Wind Waker, thank you. BKB. Okay, Stormer safe for now. Makoto, though, does come in. He's hoping for a lasso. That's a good ice wall. And Makoto is not going to force BKB for this. The hook almost gets him.
Blink is ready in 3 seconds here for the Bat Rider.
Flame Break. Is Watson really the best target to begin with? Makoto realizes that's not it.
Toss.
What a nice avalanche, catching 3. Now Kataomi fights back to make sure Stormstormer will get back. And because of the hook, Stormstormer is safe. Kataomi can't say the same. Now the lasso catches Stormstormer. 2 kills. Flame Break trying to push him back, doesn't succeed. They're going to let them go for now. Maybe take a tower instead.
Scary moment there for Entity. Now they are the ones that are just getting completely ran at, and Talon in position with a creep wave to get an objective out from this. They have still about a third duration remaining on this Metamorphosis, so you can kiss goodbye to this bottom tier 2 tower. That's their outpost gone. That's Talon being able to secure the map and set up for second Roche. That's the game plan for them now. Entity, their team fight has been lackluster. It's all about initiations with this Pudge and this Disruptor combo. As soon as BKBs come out, there's just not enough physical damage here.
And the vision from the Treant has proven to be stronger than the vision that a Disruptor usually provides.
That's right.
And that's something that's allowing Talon to get the perfect team fights. Again, I cannot understate Ollie's impact enough this game. He's constantly behind the enemy. The Overgrowth is super scary. They're not even considering because they can't.
Yeah, and I want to give a special shout out as well to Ollie because not only that, he has Shard, which allows him to get this movement. Further than that, he's further enabled his own play, which also helps his own team because he's bought the gem. The gem that Makoto's owning is his. So he basically has pretty much nothing in terms of items in his active inventory, but what he has purchased has really enabled his team to go that extra mile to get those extra kills. Without that gem, Stormstormer makes it out alive, but now all of a sudden, all your carry's doing is just, you know, taking their grave from here to there.
Yeah, exactly. With all that, between the repositioning, between the vision they have, it's a very oppressive map to play for Entity. They don't feel like they have any place to go, honestly. And that's why we see them all now jumbled up, hoping for a team fight where they actually have an advantage.
Yeah. I think the best play here for Entity is just look for some pickoffs here. I mean, they don't know they're down 11K, but they can probably certainly start to feel it.
They sense something.
Yeah, Toby as well with Pipe of Insight.
That Blink. I saw Blink inside as a Walrus Punch. And it's going to be Kataomi just going in like crazy. They want to get rid of Ollie.
They have a Sentry here.
They do. Brings back Ollie. This is going to be worth it for them.
It's not bad, but the Roche isn't up for at least another 40 seconds, and they committed Exo for that, Avo. I mean, Toby, he's going to move over to this side of the map in any case. This will at least get Entity back into their own jungle. They'll get some D-wards. They'll recapture the outpost. All good stuff to make sure that the gold continues flowing in. But while they've been doing that, 23 Savage has been farming your side of the map and his own.
Okay.
Already halfway towards, maybe, yeah, about halfway towards that Crystallis. He's just going for damage.
I guess if the Roche spawns now, this would be a really bad call by them because not having EXO available.
Yeah.
Or
No,
if they
Toby.
just fight, like, that would be pretty bad too.
Quarter
Toby.
scouted it.
Nice,
Stormer,
nice.
he got almost.
Mikoto though, Mikoto's just going in apparently. Has Blink Dagger
Why
6
not?
seconds. BKB activated. He finds Stormer instead as a gem. No more invisibility for you, Stormer. He's down. Kataomi's next target. Avalanche keeps him in place. He dies too.
And
Going
Toby,
for Toby next
he has
in the
nothing.
trees. They have vision of him.
Oh,
the hook misses. Toby has to juke his own hook.
Oh.
He was too scared. Talon is routing them.
Let him cook. 23 Savage. He's been cooking up something real spicy. That sauce has been simmering, and
They've been eating Thai food every single day, Richie.
Entity, they just can't handle it. You thought Peru had spicy food, Entity. Just wait till you see what 23 was cooking up, man. It's too much.
Yeah, and wait
They
till
are
you-
losing this game. Every single fight just looks impossible for them.
And how do they recover into this game if they keep making these plays as well, where they keep getting caught out like this in the
Fishman.
wrong places? Fishman is just another
Oh,
death.
the
Hulk doesn't have range. That's the story of this game. Not enough range. You just are a little bit away from success. An Entity, they need to find a way to recover. Richie, give me some options. What can Entity do,
They
man?
have to play for pickoffs. The way that
Okay.
they tried to get that pickoff onto Ollie in order to at least get a
Without
numbers
Exo.
game, without EXO probably, or at least securing the kill, would have been the way to go from there. Regain your map control, set up for the second Roche fight. Unfortunately, that option's now gone to them. They're well aware Roche is going on, but still, they're without EXO for another 25 seconds, and Roche is not going to take that long to go down. That means they're going to have, this is second Roche, so a free Axe Shard for someone, Demon Zeal, Sticky Napalm. What are they going to give this to? Oh, okay, 23 Savage. You add that to the pot.
No, it's Mikoto. It's Mikoto.
No, I think.
Yeah, you just got it. Mikoto.
Oh, my bad. You're right.
Oh, okay. What did he just catch? Kataomi. Support's cutting lanes.
It's tier ones here, though.
He needs to be able to save Watson, but Watson, they have Overgrowth. Ogre Seal Totem. He still has TP. He's going to have to try this. The damage is not high enough.
That was close.
BKB just ended towards the end of it.
That was close, yeah. They had the Yule Scepter as well at the ready. Mikoto, I think he says, come on, bro. Let him get away. But
Oh, right. That was a flame tip, huh? Okay, to his teammate. Interesting.
some relief for Entity. They're going to lose the Tusk, an acceptable loss for them. But anything else here, like if they catch this smoke, would be real bad.
Oh, can they toss someone back? He's trying to redeem himself. Q with a flame break, sending back the DP. They force the exorcism. They can just disengage now, or perhaps just kill the DP
Great
outright.
hook.
That hook sends the Batrider packing. He activates BKB though. He doesn't have enough damage.
Toby,
And it's gonna be
he's
Toby
going
who dies
down.
instead. Fair's up and healing him back up. The TB gets him. And that is going to be another kill for Talon. They want to disengage.
The hook from the
But
side,
they're not
Watson.
being let to do
He doesn't
that.
have BKB.
Watson, now slowed by the Scotty. The Trine joins him just for the small root. And the Scotty finally got to him. The damage from DB is
No
too high.
saves.
Watson will fall.
They're getting pushed back into their fountain. They haven't even gotten a tier 3 tower yet. There's back door still up. Talon have no respect in the world right now. Entity have nothing, and Talon know it.
This tower will just fall. I mean, 23 Savage, until the Metamorphosis ends, he's pretty much invulnerable. Okay, we got a slower data list at time.
Stormer.
Not a big deal.
He's he's invoking the what do they call it? The Raging
Elements?
Fury Invoker.
Right, right.
You know, he's getting ready for a highlight reel moment. 8 p.m. up to 999 because he's gonna have to do something really special here
He's
in order
playing
to turn this game
StarCraft
around.
on the side
He
just
is.
to prepare his fingers.
He is. We'll see what he can get done. I mean, because this is they just I mean, it's looking real tough for Entity. 22K. They still have Aegis. Entity, they don't have this EXO they need to fight with for another minute. That means by the time that's ready, only 10 seconds till Metamorphosis is still ready to go, and you're still going to have 90 seconds of this Aegis to fight with if you're Talon.
They don't. Entity doesn't seem to know when to fight. Each
Yes.
team fight, every time Talon's like, all right, we'll keep away. Entity goes, okay, I guess we just kill you, and then it always falls through.
Yeah.
It's always the.
Well, I think to some degree that's how they have to play this draft, right? You have DP who they are going to have to recognize is the bulk of our damage. If say Kataomi had a phenomenal start, perhaps we'd be saying differently. If he managed to, I don't know, say get like Falcon Blade Desolator, then he could become like kind of a physical damage core for them. Not the case here. Your damage is Pudge. Your damage
Dreaming.
is Pudge and Exo. You know, and that's all you have. And this matchup does not get any easier here as the TB gets bigger and bigger. He's got Daedalus and 3K in the bank, saved up for a rainy day, and
Mikoto?
Cloud's mustering here because
Oh,
Entity.
Mikoto, a little bit crazy. The hook. Might have saved him though. Into the dismember he goes.
Big
Didn't
kill.
get BKB
Big
off.
kill.
That's huge for Jabs. He wants to avenge his dead teammate. Activates BKB himself. He is not going to
Good
deal with the
control
Pudge
onto
alone.
23.
Needs to get away in time. Does have a double damage, but it's not scary enough to kill Watson.
That's phenomenal by Entity. That's exactly what they need to do. They need to just
Oh,
kill
they're going
time
for
here.
more glimpse. Who is
Whoa,
it? It's
whoa.
23 Savage. He Manta style dodges the glimpse. And now with the avalanche, Toby will be in trouble. Snowball save.
It was
They
under
go
a
for a
creep.
creep. It's too close. Toby, he didn't get away in time.
Doesn't
He's
have buyback.
dead. They continue for Kataomi here. Just another support kill.
The
No
Lincoln.
BKB on Jabs though. They got respected. Oh,
Oh,
for
no.
Savage, but
Not
that's
that
help.
one.
Savage wanted to go
Oh,
in.
he's too big.
Savage wants Watson. Watson, he's going to die.
3 kills.
Fishman joins him. Stormstormer can barely survive. Free Sunder. G.